Welcome. The fuck? Welcome back. I was like, why is it not starting? Alright. Smart water. Made for intellectual conversations. Let's get it going. It's a Sunday morning POV. You already know. Fuck's sake. We do not need copyright claims. Let's get out of here. It's a rainy morning, POV. I can't lie, the camera is in my face, so I am just going to adjust it slightly. Because I can see it in my peripheral. I can still see it in my peripheral, but we're just going to have to allow it. It's going a little bit too fast there, but we move. Yeah, it's a bit of a cloudy one. It's a bit miserable today. I can't even lie. But we've not done a country roads take me home POV in a while, so I thought, you know what? That's the perfect one. And we're gonna just scoot past these guys. Couple cyclists, they're probably going up the same route that we're going to be going up, although there's a different level of dedication to get up in the morning when it's freezing cold, which it is, soaking wet, which it is, and just think, yeah man, I'm going to go cycling today. I respect. You know what I mean? But yeah, interesting conversations, you know. I was thinking about, you know, what do I want to talk about, and there were a couple of things that got spoken about this week, just in general conversations and, you know, podcasts that I was listening to, because obviously I listen to podcasts or whatever. Nah, like a couple of interesting things that I might have to raise during the course of this POV, but we'll get into it. We're just warming up, we're just cooking. That guy doesn't have a coat or like a hood. It is soaking it down right now. It's wetter than your mama's pussy. Nah, I'm joking. Nah, that was rude. Oh dear. I feel like my laugh has evolved, because I never used to laugh like that. I feel like the older I've got, the more of a dad laugh that I've seemed to picked up. I used to laugh normal, and now I laugh like a fucking cartoon character. But at least I'm self-aware of it, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go into like any muddy areas, because boy oh boy, it is chucking it down today. It is hurling it down today. Next week's meant to be better weather though, so we'll see. I went golf yesterday evening as well, so that's out of the way. Yeah, I was hitting shots. I think I hit a 193 yarder with my driver, and then this guy next to me, he was just absolutely whacking them. He was getting 250, 260 yards every hit, and I'm like, is it a technique thing, or is it the clubs you're using? Because some of these drivers are like 1,800, like 1,800 quid for. I don't understand how you can spend that much money on a driver. Like, it's just a bit of metal. Nah, is it not just a stick of metal? I don't understand, why is it that expensive? Like, I know golf is an expensive man's sport, but Jesus Christ, I didn't know the levels of expense. But I was like, is that why he's hitting shots further than me? Or is it just a case that he's just built different? I think it's a bit of both. I think he's hitting absolute crazy shots because he's got some kind of stupid ass 1000 plus driver. But you know, a good, what is it, a good workman never blames his tools or some shit, I don't know. A bad blacksmith blames his tools. I mean, I was hitting shots better than last week, and you can only go by what, you know, you did previously, so we just keep it going. The more I go, the better I'll become. I've got a friend who he'll do stuff once, and if he's bad at it, and most of the time he is bad at it, because if you've only done something for the first time, you're not going to be good at it. Realistically, it's very rare that somebody's naturally good at a lot of things. So he's bad at things like golf or snooker, which is like pool, and then he'll never want to do it again. And you'll ask him, oh, do you fancy, you know, do you fancy going golf, or do you fancy doing this or that? We're like, we've already done it. We've already done it at one time, and that was enough for me. That was enough for me. I never want to do it again. I'm like, it's very bizarre. And he's like, he doesn't enjoy it because he was bad at it, and if he's bad at it, he never wants to do it again. But I don't know, I just think that's a weird way to look at things, because surely if you're bad at something, you want to go again so you can get better, so you can improve. But I guess everybody's just, you know, everyone's an individual, and that's how it is, you know. And for him, if he's bad at it, especially when it's a sport, it completely turns him off. I think intrinsically, I don't think he's a massive sports guy. There's a couple of things he likes, but I think as an all-round sporter, I don't think he's massively keen. Whereas, you know, I love trying new things, especially like new sports. I don't think he's the same. So I get it, maybe it's just not an interest of his, and so he's tried it the one time, he's ticked it off his, you know, intangible bucket list, and then he's gone about his life knowing that he's tried it, it's an experience, but it's not something you want to try again, and that's fair enough. But I like doing things and trying to improve and become better, and then you can show off and say, actually, you know what, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks and now I can actually show my skills and whatever. I think that's the best way to go about it personally, but obviously everyone's different. Now, no foggy POV. I'm not even going to go that fast, to be honest. I'm doing 40 and a 50, but that's because of this guy. But I wanted to talk about a conspiracy theory that I heard this week. I got very close to that van there. So it was on, so I heard it on a podcast, but they heard it from TikTok, so you might have seen it, you might not have. But there's a guy in, I think it's Atlanta in America, and he's living in this like apartment block, and the apartment complex, the people that run it are saying that it's full. The apartment's full, bar like 1 or 2 rooms. It's basically full to the brink. Now this guy is a bit suspicious, and he's like, he never sees anyone out and about, so he doesn't know if he's living in a simulation, if he's the only one in that apartment block. Oh, that's cool. So he's a bit confused. So he starts doing a bit of, you know, inspecting, or I don't know, inspecting, or what's the word? Starts trying to figure things out, really. And let me just end route. It's really difficult to do it with gloves. Right, fair enough. So he starts trying to figure it out, and essentially what he does, I'm trying to think of it, which is why I'm pausing so much, because I don't even remember what he did. But he gets like Chinese takeaway leaflets, and he starts laying them out in front of everyone's doors at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. He's popping these Chinese like takeaway leaflets just outside everyone's door. And then the day after, he's going around on his TikTok recording it, and there's only 2 people or 2 doors where the leaflets have gone under or like have disappeared. The rest of the leaflets are still there. So he's a bit suspicious now, because surely if it's packed to the brink, those people would have taken the doors, the leaflets, and the corridors should be empty, but they're not. So he leaves it. 2-3 days later, a couple more have gone. By like day 5, most of them were gone. So he's a bit worried that maybe the owners are onto him and have clocked what he's trying to do or whatever, and have gotten rid of him. So he's a bit suspicious now of them. And then so what he does is he realizes it was like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, one of those, like one of the big ones, festivities. And he noticed, he was outside his apartment complex, there were only 2 lights on in the whole apartment complex. For a big, you know, a big occasion with a fully packed out apartment, there's only 2 lights. So he's very suspicious now, and he does a bit more inspecting, and he goes downstairs. That's beautiful, that is. He goes down to the garage area, parking area, whatever you want to call it, and he looks at the cars, and there's a lot of cars there that haven't moved for months, and they've just gathered dust. And he's noticing this now. He's like, there's cars here that literally have not moved. So he's a bit worried now. It's interesting, right? Because he thinks he's living in a, oh, that's a baby sheep. Oh, that's so cute. That's very cute. You probably can't pick it up, but there are sheep there. Anyway, he's very confused. He thinks he's living in a simulation. He's putting it all on TikTok. The apartment's claiming that they're full to the brink. He's only seeing 2 or 3 people dotted about. It's very interesting to this point, and then I could ruin it for you guys. I will ruin it for you guys because it got ruined for me as well. But when you actually look at the TikToks, I don't know what the guy's called, but he's got a fucking annoying voice, number 1, which ruins it, because you want him to have a, you know, a nice voice. He's got an annoying ass voice, I can't even lie. That ruins it. And then I don't know, it's a bit too, it feels like he's set it up. Feels like he's got a concept in his head for what would bang on TikTok, which is a very interesting concept. Imagine being the only person in your apartment block. You're living in like a simulation. People are telling you it's full, and you're seeing all these clues. Very cool, but too cool or too good to be true kind of thing, and I think that's what it is. So yeah, I think it seems like he's set things up. And then when you look at the TikTok where he's putting leaflets out, it's only like 1 corridor he records apparently, and it's only like 20 leaflets that he's put out, sort of 10 on each side. You know, so there's that idea that he's probably just bought those and grabbed some leaflets, and he could have easily at 4 AM in the morning when everyone's asleep recorded a TikTok and said, day 1 nobody's taken these, day 2 nobody's, do you know what I mean? So he could easily do that. The Christmas thing he could have recorded at any time and said it's Christmas. The cars, I don't know about the cars, I don't know about that one, but there's easily ways that you can make things look a certain way online, and people think he's kind of just done something of that nature. So it kind of ruins the mystique of it, but you know, I thought it was interesting and I did want to bring it up to people's attention. Shit, yeah. It's an interesting idea, but I think he's just played along for TikTok. I kind of want to park somewhere and turn around again, because, do you know what I mean? I don't even know where I am now, and I want to go back on the country road and get the hell back to civilization and have my breakfast. I might take you along to that side as well. We can no hectic POV today. Normally when I jump on a country road it's a bit chaotic, but I purposefully avoided the muddy ends because I just can't be arsed. I was gonna clean my car today, but it's raining so much I don't even know if there's any point. I'll fuel up and I'll see how dirty my car is. Yeah, we're going hella downhill and I kind of want to go back up because I'm gonna have to go downhill again. So I need somewhere that I can just turn around. Is that a road or is it a footpath? That's like a parking area. Crazy. Right, there's no chance I'm doing a 3-point turn anytime soon. Although that guy looks like he's trying it. Oh, I should have done it there as well. Oh, fuck. Now I've just got a red light situation. Right, let me figure this out. I'll come back potentially and then we'll get back on the country road. Right, we're back. Back on the road. Just had to do a quick U-turn. Let me just put my hood up again. It was kind of nice and snug. Yeah, quick U-turn, we're back. That's a nice BMW. Bash. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, conspiracy theories, we love them. Most of them are a load of waffle, absolute horse shit. But you gotta love the ones. There's one that I heard of just now, called MK, oh, I don't even remember, you know. MK something, it's an American one. I think it's true as well. Because it got like exposed or some shit, and it was basically, it was in Clinton's time. I don't know what time, up till 75 maybe, I'm not sure. Basically they were doing experiments on Americans. They were like torturing them, like verbal abuse, sexual abuse, just fucked up, just a load of fucked up shit. This is national speed limit, is it? Am I waffling? I swear that's a national speed limit sign. Fuck it. Let me put it in sport, because I didn't even put it in sport. Sounds a bit nicer in sport. Now it says 40, so how does that make sense? But yeah, so they were like torturing these Americans, doing some fucked up shit, experimenting on people. This is a genuine thing, by the way, like this actually happened. Probably still happens, by the way, like probably still happens in America. America's fucked up. Probably happens in like China and God knows, there are places you wouldn't even think of. It probably happens. Is that a dam? Damn. Anyway, yeah, they were just doing fucked up shit and they got away with it. They got exposed due to some act like freedom of speech or some shit, I don't know. They got exposed. Nothing happened. Literally, they got away scot-free. The government just said, yeah, no worries. You've caught us. You caught us. That's it. No penalty. Nothing. No imprisonment. It's mad. So they were just torturing people and they just got away with it. And then they just stopped. Supposedly. Did they actually stop? Probably not. But that shit's fucked up as well. There's just a whole load of fucked up shit. Right, I'm going faster on the way back and I don't know why. Don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea, but fuck it. I don't think I've ever taken you guys on the way back. It's similar to the way forward, but it's back. Oh, do you know what? That could be an interesting conversation. It's a bit nerdy, it's a bit sciencey, and it might fuck your head up a little bit. But just the idea of time, right? Do I really want to get into this now? See, now my head's cooking. My head's cooking. The oven's getting too hot. Let me turn down the temperature in this car, because it's got me cooking. It's got me cooking. Right, time is an interesting concept. So how do we know? I did a physics degree, by the way. This is why I know some like nerdy shit. But how do we know that time's going forwards? Like, realistically, we don't. We've made time up. It's just a construct to us. It helps the days go by quicker. Lol, that's a pun. Anyway, the reason we know time's going forwards rather than it's going backwards is because of this thing called entropy. Essentially, entropy is a measure of how disordered something is. To put it into an easy sort of perspective, if you were to whisk an egg, you crack an egg, you whisk an egg, that egg is more disordered than it was initially because you've cracked it, you've whisked it. The idea is, we know time's going forward because that state's more disorganized. Essentially, you can't unwhisk an egg and get it back into a perfect yolk, and you can't then get that yolk back into the eggshell perfectly. It's very unlikely. It's not impossible, because you can't say it's impossible, but it's very unlikely for a situation to happen where a whisked egg goes back into its shell. That's the whole idea, basically. That's the whole concept. It's the same with you go to the Sahara Desert, for example, and you build, and obviously the Sahara Desert's just this mountain of sand. So if you were to build a sandcastle in the Sahara Desert, you've made an ordered system, an organized system. You can't then, the way we know time's going forward is eventually that sandcastle will just turn back into the mountain of sand. It's not going to stay a sandcastle the whole time. Over the days, weeks and months, that'll go back into a mountain of sand. It's very unlikely that from a mountain of sand, nature's just going to give you a sandcastle. It's very unlikely that's going to happen. It's not impossible. You can't say it's impossible, but it's improbable. So that's how you know time's going forward rather than backwards, is because it's based off entropy, which basically says what's more likely to happen is things are going to become more chaotic, and that's what happens. Eventually, when we're all dead and all the planets have disappeared and what's going to be left is a couple of black holes dotted about, once those black holes have nothing left to feed on, they'll die out too, and there'll be nothing in space at all. At that point, when there's literally nothing left, time as a concept won't exist, because there's no entropy. There's no way for that system, there's nothing left, so it's reached its maximum point of entropy, I believe. It can't become any more chaotic. That's it. There's nothing left. At that point, time doesn't exist, because you can't tell if time's going forward or backwards. Therefore, time just stays. It's a weird It's weird, but the more you think about things like this, the more it fucks your head up. But I'm just spitting all over the place at this point. But it's an interesting concept. Passes the time. Way. Time puns. But yeah, if you ever wanted like a nerdy thing to say to people, bosh, just learn about entropy. You'll sound so smart. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is a 30-mile-an-hour road. Let me just slow the hell down, because I was not doing 30 miles an hour. Bro is on a run of his life. I respect it. I do respect it. I used to run outdoors back in my heyday. My heyday being like 19 years old. I don't do it anymore. Just run on a treadmill. But it is, you gotta have a certain like grit about you to run outside. I'll be honest. You do. That was a fun POV. I really enjoyed that. I had a great time. I really had a great time. But we're gonna leave it there. And what has been a great POV, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.